got a sweet little stag. A lot of you may be familiar with this one, particularly the shape, little inners, nice big outers. And he's stripping velvet, so he's got a lot of stuff coming off him. He's obviously quite hard, he's stripped out, but he was just going through his motions. This is quite an interesting hunt. The full video is on YouTube of this one. This was shot in the Wonnangatta. Me and a fella from Tassie, he was also a member of the forum we were on. We were in there for a forum hunt. And just quickly said to the guys around camp, says, yeah, I'm keen to come for a backpack hunt. And the Tassie dude was super keen. So he was a little bit older than me, all that jazz. I said, righto, sort your shit out and we'll go tomorrow morning, mid-morning. Got up in position there, basically just started hiking, and I remember it just being windy, rainy, misty as, and we'd come up onto this bench to get to our destination, and I just come around this bit of a bend and look up, and here was this stag broadside feeding, head down, had no idea we were there. I quickly said to the bro, I said, mate, shoot that thing, and he sort of got lined up, buck fever kicked in, visibility low, all that jazz, bang, shoots this stag with a 3006, 180 grain TTSXs, and being a fallow shooter, I guess he might have aimed for the lungs or whatever, and that projectile sort of appeared to have just pinholed it, and this deer just sort of ran with its head up and just contoured out of sight into the fog and mist. I actually thought it wouldn't be too difficult of a find, but we searched all the rest of that arvo and actually camped really nearby, right there, so we could get up and search for it in the morning when hopefully all this weather had cleared. We still never found that deer, and I've been back twice, or 2 or 3 times now, and sort of had a quick look every time. I think it's just ran up off the benches and just gone down, and who knows where it really ended up, hey? So that was a real bummer to start off this trip. We sort of anti-climax because we walk up just pretty blasé, and then fuck, here's the deer, so oh bang, shoot it, we're stoked. I'm thinking there's no way you can miss that or anything can happen, that thing's dead. So I was high-fiving and carrying on. And then it just went downhill from there. We were both pretty fucking spewing by the end of that arvo, and then let alone next day, he was pretty off it. But I sort of had this vision or goal and a big face that I wanted to look at for first light. So we made our way up into that area, and I think that next morning after that, the bro had gone back down to look for his stag. And I just continued up and sat over this face as the sun hit it, and lo and behold, here was this stag feeding up across the face. Just as I imagined, you know. So I didn't fuck around too much, got laid down, set up, and then tried to film it, and it was in and out of these trees, so I didn't really get a good video of it, and back then I had a shitty camera, no tripod, and I think I ended up just sitting the camera there on a bit of ground, rock or something, looking up towards the area, and then send the first shot. And unbeknownst to me at the time, but it's obviously gone just below it, and it sort of reared up and ran, like kicked and ran, as if something had hit it in the bloody chest, you know, in the side. So it's got up and ran, took off, and went just straight across the hill, and then was down there looking back thinking, what the fuck was that? And I thought I'd hit this thing, so I tried to get another one into it, and by this stage Scott was there. He'd just coincidentally been on his way back, like must have been mid-morning, and next minute he just pops up. I'm like, fuck, I just had a crack at one. We're trying to find it over in this other side of the face, and there it was. And I remember it just sitting there and like looking over its shoulder, looking back at what was over there. So I elevated a little bit more on scope and then sent this shot. And at the shot, this deer just bloody stumbles and then just starts running straight downhill, and then just pretty much carks it. Like, fuck, that was unreal, you know, like what the hell? We were pumped, stoked. Took us ages to get around to where this deer actually was, then we got down to it, and the blood trail was like phenomenal. I'd never seen anything quite like it, and I was thinking, what the heck? And here I am thinking I'm aimed in the above its shoulder type setup, hoping it would land in like the heart lung area. But because the deer's had its head looking over, and it hasn't actually gone too much further a distance across the hill, my shot's gone quite high, and that ended up whacking it right in the friggin' right here, as it's looking back over its head, over its back, into where its shoulder should have been. So I wowed this thing in the side of the head, and it had no chance. It died very quickly. And at the time, we were sort of unsure on how or where I hit this thing, because in the body there was no holes, but the mouth was just full of blood. So it was so bizarre until we got home and boiled the head out, and then realised that it had actually gone in like pretty much where the preorbital gland is, and smacked it. Yeah. He's not the biggest deer, but it's definitely a Wonnangatta deer. He's got nice big brows. He's probably a bit younger deer than ideally taken. He stretches out 26.5 inches, this one. And he's got, like, I think 14-inch brows. So that adds to this head, but can also, again, takes away from the length a little bit. Looks like it's quite a short animal from brow up to the top, but yeah, it is what it is. Short little inners, probably just need a few more years. But his downfall was literally I'd been just blasting over Google Earth that much and just wanted to get to this face and thought it would be all great, and lo and behold, here he was. That was shot with a 7mm 08, probably a 150 spear again, in about 2017. No, it's not a bad little head. Definitely holds a lot of memory for me, and I'll hopefully one day mount this one up on a mannequin.